Thank you to all the speakers that have been here today. It's been great to sit back and watch, especially from our partners, the customers that have presented, how our technology makes a real impact in their workflows. And one thing I just paused with, that was a thing that you normally maybe do not think that much about during a CMD, but it was what we said, Rafi, in regards to saving lives. And that's really a key point. Our technology plays a small part in the capable hands of our partners to save lives, both within metagenomics as well as in regards to providing advanced therapies, making them more accessible. One of the major challenges with advanced therapies today is the manufacturing cost. And we play a small important part, I would like to say, in ensuring that manufacturing costs are reduced. So just a short reflection from my side. I'm going to try and round things up. I'm going to be talking about our financial ambition, and I'm also going to share the key execution priorities, and then end up with tying everything together in the investment case that ArcticZymes is currently. If we start by looking at our ambition, we have a clear ambition, and our ambition is to sustainable grow double digit, and over time we are targeting to outperform the markets that we serve. As revenue grow, EBITDA is going to provide margin expansion through the operating leverage that I talked about in our platform early on. And we are going to be able to generate a stronger cash position, as well as have the financial flexibility to invest in growth going forward. There's no doubt about the fact that we have 265 million NOK in the bank that Børge is guarding carefully. So that of course signals to our partners that we are a company that is here to stay. I think that was also what Lee alluded to. It is a critical component in their workflow, so they have to be ensured that the partners that they decide to go for are here tomorrow as well. So the 265 million, that's a strong signal for a company of our size that we have staying power. I also received the question, do you actually need to send a 265 million NOK signal in order to say to your partners that you're here to stay? Maybe not. And that's why, of course, I am 100% sure that the road to executing on the strategy that you have seen today also goes through a number of selective value accretive investments. What we're looking at is to strengthen our innovation engine. Also to buy in assets that can strengthen and leapfrog our RNA portfolio, for example. We've spent a lot of time, resources on building a strong set of commercial capabilities in the form of the team we have, the processes and so on. But where I see that we need to invest further, that's really more in the front end, the discovery part of our business, in order to innovate faster and also leapfrog with maybe entering into very close collaborations with companies that have unique assets that can complement our portfolio. Ambition is nothing without execution. So our key execution priorities that we have touched upon today over the next couple of years, that is clearly to continue to fuel the commercial engine, both over time in regards to adding a couple of extra resources, but importantly, and you're going to be happy to hear this, Steve, we're also going to invest more in marketing in terms of our lead generation activities. Paul, you showed how our business works. It's important that we have a lot of opportunities up front that we can work with, and investment in lead generation activities is part of generating that opportunity pipeline. I talked about further innovation in R&D. It also goes in regards to developing new ways of doing high throughput screening. So there's also an element of CapEx investment into the R&D side. And then a key growth driver for ArcticZymes now and in the coming years, that's going to be platform integration at CDMOs. You heard from Lee today. We are also in dialogue with other potential platform partners, CDMOs, and we're going to continue to push to be onboarded into more platforms. We are already doing business with 10 of the top CDMOs within advanced therapies, as Paul talked about. So the door is open. Now it's about entering the house. We are also going to, of course, continue our work as we've done so far over the past years to build a position within next generation sequencing, particularly with metagenomics. We are a front runner. We're talking with all the right key opinion leaders. It's being rolled out in the UK at the NHS as we speak. So it is happening now. It's not tomorrow, it's happening today. Finally, we talked about concentration risk, and we have had a concentration risk in regards to viral vectors and SAN, but we now have a clear plan, a clear way forward in regards to reducing the concentration risk and being further exposed to really interesting growth pillars. And we have some of the products already. It's more about developing the right application support. So looking at how we're going to build a scalable, differentiated enzyme platform, I hope that you have found many of the answers during today's presentation. But if we focus on 4 elements of it, then you have heard about the exposure to structural markets across the board that provide for high growth. You've heard about viral vectors, you've heard about RNA, you've heard about next generation sequencing in the form of metagenomics. All of those segments are segments where we are present today and where we're going to grow the business going forward. And I think the most important part for me today was to hear about how customers have adopted our technology with success. The case from OXB, seeing the impact that our enzymes have, the metagenomics part from Rafi as well, the impact that our technology actually provides. So our technology is validated in a lot of different customer critical workflows. Another interesting part of our business model is, as you say, Paul, we are designed in. Once we are designed in, we are embedded in the customer's process or product, and we scale as the customer scales. We have a clear ambition. We are targeting double-digit growth and over time outperforming the segments where we compete. We have a clear strategy, but I think most of all, we have an experienced team. You've seen part of the team here today, but we have also seen during the past 2 years that we have been able to work through adverse conditions, put a new growth strategy in place, and focus on executing on 3 deliberate focus areas, building out our commercial capabilities, ensuring that we had a product market fit with the GMP launches, the DMF launch, and then also working towards further diversification, less concentration risk, more growth pillars going forward. On the right-hand side of the slide, you see our platform, and it is a highly attractive platform, recurring, sticky enzyme consumption, high gross margin solutions, critical components that make an impact in our customers' workflows, a scalable cost structure, as Børge talked about. And finally, the ability to expand the platform, launch more enzymes on the same platform. We've taken a lot of heavy investments, both in regards to building our quality management system, our commercial capabilities, our production capabilities during the pandemic. So we are set for expansion, and we are building a compounding, high-margin enzyme platform positioned for durable earnings growth. And with that, I would like to thank you, especially for coming, and especially to our guest speakers, Lee and Rafi. It was great to have you. And I think we have 5 minutes left as well, if there are any questions either amongst the people here in Stockholm or online.
Yeah, thanks. Ludwig here again from Nordea. So just a final question from my side, I guess, is more on the capital allocation side. So Paul mentioned earlier that I guess, you're competing against quite large players in this field, and it's a kind of a disadvantage, or it's an advantage having the scale that they have typically. So like, first of all, like, would you say that you're nearing the point where that becomes less of a problem for you when you have grown now, growing the number of customers, etc.? So maybe starting with that.
Yeah, I think what I've seen during the past 2 years is that yes, being a large player in the industry has its advantages, but I think being agile, having cutting-edge technology that solves some of the key challenges for our customers is second to none. That's why we are growing our customer base at the moment. So I feel we are in a good position, the size we are currently, and we're positioned to grow well within the coming years. And I don't see that scale currently is an issue for us.
Okay, so just related to that, like, would you say that, would it make sense for you to make a larger acquisition just to gain scale, or are you more focused, on getting the right technology in thinking about capital allocation there and acquisitions you talked about? Like, what stage of assets are you looking at? Like, is it revenue-generating assets or more early stage assets?
Currently, we're looking to invest in organic growth, as Børge talked about. But there's no doubt about it, as I also alluded to, that we see that, especially on the asset innovation side, in order to build out, for example, our RNA portfolio, or build out our innovation capabilities, an investment in a company could help us leapfrog. So we are, and have been within the past 2 years, in dialogue with a lot of different interesting partners, not only from an acquisition standpoint, but also from a collaboration standpoint. The goal is to ensure that it's the right company at the right time. And the goal is not to go too big either. We want to make our first acquisition, become successful, integrate, harvest the synergies, and then move on to something bigger.
Okay, great. And then, final from my side. So just thinking about strategy, you signed the Brenntag partnership, for a distribution partnership. And then Paul also highlight that you also work very closely with some customers. Like, so that's kind of two opposite sides of, like, so just thinking from that, like, how do you plan to, continue investing, or like, the commercialization, like.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hand that to you, Paul.
Looking on those two sides, like, which one is most important for you?
Yeah, so absolutely both are really important to us. So Brenntag have brought scale at speed. What we don't think is that there's going to be sort of immediate revenues. There are some revenues, of course, but they face the same design-in conversations that we do. So, the agreement with Brenntag is really to allow us to move quickly and that is a European-wide agreement. We've also just from the 1st of January put in a dedicated channel manager who looks after Brenntag, but is also charged with making sure that our Asia and other similar markets are better served by distributors. We already have some great distributors, but we're making sure that it's well thought out, it's well considered, and it's optimized. So, as Rafi mentioned, you know, the Indian market, for example, very exciting. And we do have a great distributor there, we've got good relationships there, and we've got great traction there, but we could do more. So there's enough to go at, and there's this kind of time period where we've got to take advantage now. So this sense of urgency can't come by adding more salespeople. You know, it has to come from working with partners who can help us get there quickly. And we're, you know, Brenntag, we believe, is the right partner for Europe for our SAN enzymes. But we are having other conversations with other relevant distributors and partners.
Thank you, Paul.
I think it's really important when you talk about distributors and customers, it's not an either or. I mean, at the end of the day, distributors are a customer in that process, but they're serving an end customer. We will never move away from the customer. So I think presenting it as an either or, as two different approaches, it's really about route to market. At the end of the day, we've got to be solving customer needs in the bench, in the boardroom, with the people who are finally using our product. Distributors are a way of adding value and adding scale and gaining access. Yeah, they're complementary strategies that work together. The customer has always got to remain central.
Yes, any further questions in the room? No? Then we're going to end the session almost on time. Thanks a lot for spending your Friday morning with us. It was a pleasure.